this is Brian.
And I'm Logan, and this is Tops. And this is Middles, and this is Stops, and this is Bottoms. If you don't know who all my sons are, watch any other video. You'll get all their personalities and who they are and all that. There's a lot of alpacas. That's basically it. And we're Crush Cards! Hi, team! Happy Wednesday. Finally here.
So last week on the community page, we put up a poll on which deck profile you guys wanted to see, and there was one that won by a landslide.
Like 70%.
Yeah,
like it wasn't
crazy.
even, I don't know why we even put a poll up. It was such an obvious answer. But it's okay. It was Chaos Thunder, and that's what we're doing today, folks. I know you probably freaked out because we're on the couch, but it's okay. This is still a deck profile. Don't freak out.
So with the new release of the Toon Chaos set, Thunder Dragons kinda got a little bit of help, even though Colossus is still banned.
Very banned.
So the deck still is very playable. It's just not like a tier 1 deck. It's more like a tier 3.
Like tier 4.
Maybe.
On a good day.
But the Chaos space and just the Chaos cards did help the deck out a lot.
Granted, it's not putting up like 18 negates like every needle fiber deck is right now. There's actually no needle fiber in this deck at all. There's no tuners other than Effect Veiler, who's not being used as a tuner anyway. So frankly, if you would like a more slower paced and like fun and not degenerate deck,
It's like a control
this is
lead.
the deck for you. I mean, this deck it can still put up interruptions, but it's not putting up like you can't play interruption.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty solid. Like the deck's good. It's a lot more slower paced. It's kind of like what Yu-Gi-Oh used to be a while ago. I don't remember those times, but it was a thing. So this is a fun deck. It's still in the testing phases, but we wanted to share it with y'all anyway.
So before we get into the actual deck profile and the giveaway winner, we want to ask you guys, if you're not already subscribed, to take 10 seconds and go down and hit the subscribe button.
You should do it. You should do it for me and Middles. Do it for Middles. All you guys always ask where Middles is in videos. Subscribe for Middles. Not for us, not for Dumpling, not for anyone else. Do it for Middles. But yeah, so be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can see when we put stuff up. It really does matter. And then we also have an Instagram, it's at Crush Cards YGO. It's Instagram, we're on there all the time. We post stories, we post posts, we answer messages, we do the whole shebang. And then we also have a wholesome Discord community. It's absolutely wonderful. We just started a summer book club. We talk about deck lists, we talk about anime, we talk about everything and anything. It's a good time. And then if you want to further support the channel, we have a Patreon with some of the best benefits in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. It's a lot of fun. We're putting up bloopers, we do merch, we do all sorts of fun stuff. Patreon. But if you don't want it, that's okay. I'm just happy you're here. Love you, smooches. Mwah. So now's the moment of truth. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Now that you're finally here, I've been leading you on this whole time. It's okay. We're here now. We're going to talk about the giveaway winner. All right, so we did the giveaway winner for the Toon Chaos Sealed Box, the Power Manga Max playmat, and some sick merch. So you're getting a lot of cool stuff. So the giveaway winner out of literally like 800 comments is Aaron J. Yay!
Congrats, Aaron.
Yay, Aaron! Message us on Instagram. We're so happy you won. You're perfect. You're a sweet angel. We adore you. And don't panic if you didn't win this giveaway, because guess what? We're going to be doing a lot more giveaways very soon. Now that the channel is at a point where we feel comfortable, where we can do this more often, we're going to be giving away boxes from most bigger sets. And if I am correct, there are some sets coming out in the next couple weeks.
Like 2 weeks,
So
yeah.
don't worry. There's more coming. So you might win the next one. Got you, champ. I see you.
So Eric, congrats my friend, but let's get into the deck profile of Thunder Chaos.
Yay! Chaos! Thunder! My life!
Alright guys, so here we are for the actual deck profile. Once again, this deck is in the testing phases, so take it with a grain of salt and build off of this as you see fit for your own personal play style.
And if you like it, great. But if not, just understand this deck needs a lot of work. It needs some love.
Yeah,
so.
hitting Colossus really does change the entire play style of the deck. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like they lost one boss monster, they lost the entire way that you play the deck. So, that being said, let's just get right into this build and go over each card. So, starting off with our first play starter, and realistically, the only real normal summon of the deck, we are playing triple copies of Aloof Lupine.
Oh, my sweet super boy.
He's a really cute little puppy.
Puppy.
This card says that when this card is normal summon, you can banish one monster from your hand as cost. So even if they ash the actual effect, you still get the banish, which is
nuts.
really
Because then
strong.
they can't stop that.
So typically you're going to banish a Thunder monster from your hand and then banish another one from your deck. And you just go like +7 off this card. It's insane. This card is really, really strong.
+7.
And once again, it is a level 4. I feel like that's something we say in every single video, but like level 4s, rank 4s are really, really strong in the game right now. So that is also something that this card has going for it. And the other effect, which doesn't come up often, is that if this card would be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effect, you can target one of your banished monsters and add it to your hand. So that's really, really cool too. If you're able to like leave this this on field for like an IP play and you want to link it away into your unicorn, but instead they wind up popping this, you still get a resource back, which is really, really good.
But I would not recommend leaving Lupine on the field. I don't think that's the wisest thing.
Then off to our Thunder package, the other like potential normal summon of the deck.
You really need to link Karibo.
You don't really want to normal summon this card, but if you do, this card still can get your plays going, it can get your plays started. But we play this card for two reasons. The first is that it is a quick effect to discard this card and then target one Thunder monster you control. It gains 500 attack.
Forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say that attack is permanent. 100% permanent. And then the second effect, which is really, really strong, is that if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one copy of itself from your deck to your hand. The only thing is you can only use one of these effects per turn. You can't use them both.
So yeah, you basically just want to use this for Titan, essentially.
Yeah, this is basically your Titan proc. And I mean, like, it's a super rare, so that's really cool. Thanks for OTS pack 9? 9? Wow, these came out a long time ago. I did not know that we were around back then. Oh, we weren't. We had to buy this, duh. Next, wouldn't be a Thunder Dragon deck without, you know, triple copies of the OG big bad boy himself.
Electro Boy.
This card has one effect, and it is discard this card, add up to 2 copies of Thunder Dragon from your deck to your hand. So you can add one of himself or the second copy of himself too. So you literally just, this is just like hand advantage, and this deck does a lot of discarding lights, so having 2 copies in your hand just gives you discard fodder for unicorn, discard fodder, all that other fun stuff.
Simple but effective. That's what this boy does. He's a good boy. Bye.
That was our light Thunder Dragon. Now we have our triple copies of Thunder Dragon Dark. This is probably like the best one in the deck, I would say. Second best.
Sure.
Thunder Dragon Dark has 2 effects. Quick effect, you can discard this card and add one Thunder Dragon Dark from your deck to your hand.
Again, Titan fodder.
Yep, just Titan procs. And then the second effect, which is realistically what you use a lot more, is if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand. This is insane because this is your main searcher. You can search Fusion, you can search any other combo piece you would need, you can search anything that says the word Thunder Dragon on the title. Really, really good. Once again, only thing is you can only use one of these effects per turn.
Yeah, so you kind of have to think about what you're going to use, but typically you're going for the banish. That's usually what you're doing.
And if you guys also haven't seen by the title, these are all light and dark monsters, so this is kind of like a chaos build. Obviously, lights, darks work really, really well together.
Wow. The duality of man.
Next, we have the best, in my opinion, Thunder Dragon monster, which is Thunder Dragon Roar. This guy is nuts.
I love him. I think he's great. I love how he's got like wings, but not wings.
He's got like a mane, but like not a mane.
He's like a lion, but not a lion.
I feel like he kind of looks like a sea serpent. He's got like that like underwater vibe too.
What, because he's blue?
No, because he's got like, never mind. Whatever.
Alright, comments, let us know. Can Thunder Dragon Roar swim? I feel like that's a little bit ironic if he can swim, but Brian thinks he looks like he can swim.
And this card, once again, as all the other Thunder Dragon cards, have 2 effects. You can discard this card and add to your hand one of your Thunder Dragon cards that is banished or in your graveyard except itself. So kind of good for like mid to late game resource management. And then the other effect is if this card would be banished or leaves the field and is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one of your Thunder Dragon monsters in defense from your deck.
So Thunder Dragon Roar is really good because if you banish him or if he leaves the field or just hits the graveyard off the field, you can literally just special summon for free. It's insane.
Yeah, this is like one of your main starters. And it's a dark, so like Allure of Darkness, it's literally pot of greed. And then we play the one sad
Chicken Nugget.
card was so much better when Colossus was in the game, but now that Colossus is not, you only play this because it allows you to get like a combo piece out of your banished or your graveyard and special summon it back to your side of the field. Or if this card is banished, you can shuffle any number of cards from your hand into the deck and then draw the same number. So if you kind of bricked, which I mean like this deck plays a bunch of 3-ofs, you can just banish this card and then just shuffle back the cards that you don't want to draw new cards. So.
And then re-brick. But Hawk is whack because his discard effect is the special summoning effect, whereas Roar's effect for special summoning is the banish, field to grave, whatever effect. So Chicken Nugget's crazy.
Super
Just
cute.
discard for
He's
summon.
mad. Dude,
Wow.
He's mad.
He's a spicy chicken nugget. He's thunder, so he's like, oh, spicy nuggets.
It's electric. And then the last Thunder Dragon monster that we are playing is this disrespectful common that Konami gave us, which is the brand new Out of Eternity code Thunder Dragon Lord. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. It must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing one level 8 or lower Thunder monster from your hand or face up field during the turn that a Thunder monster effect was activated in the hand. Kind of a weird stipulation, but then again, you are using a ton of Thunder effects in the hand. You can just banish anything you don't need, get this big boss daddy on field,
But yeah, and then the second effect is once per opponent's turn, quick effect. That's really redundant. I don't know why they wrote that. You can banish 2 cards from your graveyard, including a thunder monster, then target 1 thunder monster you control. Your opponent cannot target it with card effects this turn. Once per turn during the end phase, you can send a Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your graveyard. So basically the second effect is like Titan protection. So say they go to target Titan or something, you can quick effect, banish 2 cards to protect it, or you could protect itself or whatever else you have on the field. And then once per your end phase, you can send the Thunder Dragon card from your deck to the graveyard, which is kind of cool. It's interesting.
Yeah, you don't use it often, but like this card really did fill the slot that you needed, which as Logan said was the Titan protection, because Titan kind of protects itself, but not from targeting. So this gives you that targeting protection, and it's really, really good in the deck. It's a good one of. You can search most of these cards, so Thunder Dragon Lord, testing it, kind of cool. And then off to our Chaos cards, we are playing double copies of Chaos Valkyria. This is one of the brand new cards out of Toon Chaos, and this card cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by a card effect. And then it also says you can banish 1 light or dark monster from your graveyard and then special summon this card from your hand. Really, really good, because if you're sending any of your light or dark monsters from your hand to the graveyard, this can just proc them and banish them to get itself out and trigger their effects. So this card is always going to be a +1. And then the other really cool effect is that if this card is banished, you can send 1 light or dark monster from your deck to the graveyard, but for the rest of the turn, that card cannot activate effects. So it is a cool Foolish Burial for like a nice follow-up play, and it does allow you to banish itself to get itself out. If like one's in your graveyard and one's in your hand, you can banish this one to special the other one. So really, really cool, fun interaction, really strong in the deck. And then we are testing the 1 copy of Chaos Creator. I don't know if this card deserves to be a 2, 1, or 0, but we are testing it out. It does have some really, really cool interactions, but this card says that it cannot be normal summon / set. It must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 light and dark monster from your graveyard. So once again, it triggers all of your Thunder Dragon effects because they are all light and dark monsters, and it triggers any other of your banishing effects that would occur in the graveyard. And then if you control this card that was special summoned from the hand, you can target 3 of your banished monsters with different names, special summon 1 of them, and then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. This card is awesome because not only is it a Thunder, but it is searchable because of that. It is a level 8, which gives you really cool synergy with some other cards in your extra deck, and then it just allows you to special summon anything that is banished back to your side of the field. So really, really cool card.
I don't know, I think 1 is enough because you don't want to like brick it all the time. There's a couple main deck boss monsters in this deck, so I think playing too many of them just gets kind of weird. And then you can search him off of so many things, so I don't think it's necessary.
And then to wrap up our little Chaos package, we are playing the Black and the White Dragon. Both of these cards are really, really insane in this deck because obviously it's a dark and a light monster. The light one, when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, searches the dark one. Same thing with the dark. The dark is sent from field to grave, searches the light one. But we are playing the new card out of Toon Chaos that allows you to shuffle these back into your deck so you can continuously just loop searching these cards.
And they're searchable off of Chaos Space too.
And they're level 4s.
Wow.
These cards alone are just like a really strong engine for this deck.
God knows it needs it.
And then just for generic extenders, we chose to try out triple copies of Parallel Exceed. You can play like double copies of Mothman. I think this is a 42 card deck, so if you want to just like cut these and play Upstart instead for consistency, totally fine. But we wanted to make sure that we can make a rank 4 almost every single turn, and this card is totally worth seeing the extra 2 cards in your deck for. You're always guaranteed to see a rank 4 play whenever you draw this card. You can draw half of your deck like turn 1. If you guys stick around for the combo section, we will show how awesome this card really is.
But yeah, for those of you who don't know what Parallel Exceed does, as discussed in common, basically whenever you link summon a monster, you can special summon one from your hand to a zone a link monster points to, and then you also get to special summon another copy of Parallel Exceed from your deck. And then the attack is halved and the level becomes 4. Wow, isn't that just big old convenient?
Yeah, so you basically, like, one of these is just a rank 4. It's really, really good, but it's a really cool card. Like, if you don't need it, then you don't need it, whatever. It's cool discard fodder if you don't need it also, so you can really, like, it's just utility. These are slots you can totally mess around with in the deck, so feel free, let us know what you think and what you would play instead.
I don't know, I like them in the deck because this deck needs free bodies desperately.
And then moving on to our hand trap lineup, we are trying to stick with the theme of the deck. So we're playing triple lights and triple darks. This deck doesn't really go second well, so we figured that hand traps would probably be the best bet. Effect Veiler is a light and it is not a hard once per turn. And Phantasme is a really strong card that allows you to go second, draw some cards, and potentially see more things to break your opponent's board with. Plus, it always gives you that targeting protection, which is really useful in certain matchups. matchups.
Especially with how link heavy the format is right now.
So yeah, these are the 6 we're choosing to play. You guys can play whatever you want. Ash is a really good card, Imperium's a really good card, but you can't really use those cards for the light and dark engine in this deck. So we figured we would just try to stay synergistic and just go with these 6. Speaking of synergy, wow.
Wow, who would have thought in a Thunder deck would be playing Allure of Darkness?
This card is absolutely bonkers in the deck.
It's basically Pot of Greed. It's very rarely, oh no, I'm banishing this dark monster. It's all, hell yeah, I'm banishing this dark monster.
And Phantasmate is also really good in this deck because if you don't have any of your Dark Thunders in your hand, Phantasmate is just a banish for free if you don't need it to go first and see more combo pieces. So Allure of Darkness says draw 2 cards and then banish a dark monster from your hand, but if you can't do that, you discard your whole hand. You are never doing that in this deck.
Yeah, if that happens, I'm just really sorry, but that's not happening. It's Lord's Pot of Greed. Wow, what does it do? Who knows?
And then, speaking of Pot of Greed, we're basically playing 6 more copies of it with this brand new cute card called Chaos Space.
Very good.
So basically what this card says is that you can send 1 light or dark monster from your hand to the graveyard as the cost, and then add 1 light or dark monster that cannot be normal summon / set from your deck to your hand with a level from 4 to 8 with a different attribute than the monster that you sent. This card is basically search your entire deck by sending a card to the graveyard that you want there anyways. So really, really busted effect. And then once again, for any of you guys who have not read Chaos Space, the even more busted effect is that you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target one of your banished light or dark monsters that cannot be normal summon or set, and then place that monster on the bottom of your deck, then draw 1 card. This card searches you a card, recycles banished resources, and then draws you a card too. This card is nuts in this deck. Then we're playing the double copies of Thunder Dragon Fusion. I feel like this is standard in almost every single Thunder Dragon deck. This card says that you can fusion summon 1 Thunder monster from your extra deck by shuffling the fusion materials listed on that card into the deck from your face-up banish, field, or graveyard. So this allows you to recur basically 3 Thunder Dragons back into your deck. Really, really busted. And then just like the other Thunder Dragon cards, it has 2 effects, but you can only use 1. And then the other effect of this card is during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you could banish this card from your graveyard and then add 1 Thunder monster from your deck to your hand.
Which is bananas in this deck because now you're playing Chaos Creator, who is a Thunder, and that's pretty darn crazy, fam.
Yeah, you can search half your deck with all these cards. So like, if you haven't seen the synergy, there's 2 things that this deck does. It is search and play a lot of cards that are at 1 or banned. So the last 3 cards in the deck, we are playing the 1 Monster Reborn, the 1 Gold Sark, and then of course the Instant Fusion. This card being at 1, and then this card being at 1 is also one of the main reasons why this deck is not tier 1 anymore. This was a really huge consistency piece. It allows you to fusion summon anything from your extra deck level 5 or lower.
It was basically free Colossus. It was ridiculous.
Or like a free Titan basically, but now you have, like, you can't. It's awful. It feels terrible.
Yeah, this deck hurts, man. We were testing last night. It's just like, oh, remember? Oh.
The 1 Gold Sark just allows you to banish 1 card from your deck face up, and then during the second standby phase after this card's activation, add that card back to your hand, which you're absolutely never doing because you're always going to banish it and then shuffle it back into the deck the same turn.
It's just free. You're basically banishing either Dark or Roar, and you're having a heyday and summoning up the Wooza. It's a great time.
Yeah, this is your 4th copy of every Thunder Dragon. And then Reborn, just a really good extender, allows you to go further when you're going first, or allows you to bait and negate going second.
Yeah, it's really cool because a lot of these cards are able to bait and negate because they all essentially do the same damn thing, so you can just bait negates up the woo and just play. It's fun. It's great.
So let's get into the extra deck. Alright, so coming in hot, we have our 1 copy of Link Karibo. This literally just allows you to get your Thunder Dragon Matrix off the field so you can search another one. That's it. All it does.
Yeah, it's Link Karibo. He's a good boy. We love him. Right, bud?
And then just for consistency purposes, we are playing the 1 Relinquished Anima. This card is really, really good because it allows you to go second. Deck doesn't do that super duper well, so as I said, just to up consistency, this card allows you to target 1 face-up monster that this card points to, and then equip that monster to it. So you basically just steal one of your opponent's cards in their monster zone underneath the extra monster zone. So if they're silly enough to place a card underneath this, you can just take it going second, baits in the gate, and if they hit your Thousand Eyes Restrict, you basically just have another copy of it. So going second, this just ups your consistency to play through some stuff. We're playing the 1 copy of Cross Sheep. This card can kind of function as an extender. You don't always need this card. I think it came up a couple times in testing. So what Cross Sheep says is that if a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can apply the following effect in sequence based on the card type of monster that this card points to. Because you fusion summon a lot in this deck, and if you do wind up resolving that effect, you get to special summon a level 4 or lower monster directly from your graveyard back to your side of the field. Gets you an extender, helps you link climb, or can just get you into your rank 4 plays faster. So it's a fusion based deck. deck. So we are playing the one Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda. If you do somehow need to search something else off of your Thunder Dragon Dark, this still just allows you to get to your Thunder Dragon Fusion and still get yourself a Titan. We are playing the one IP.
We love IP. She's perfect. It means infinitely perfect. For anyone who was wondering what IP meant, that's what she means. I said so. Me, Konami.
IP just allows you to link someone on your opponent's turn.
It's IP. If you don't know what IP does at this point, like, we need to have a conversation. It's IP. Great card. Link someone on your opponent's turn. Make them upset. Play Unicorn. Shuffle their cards back. That's it. Mwah.
Which is why we're playing the Unicorn.
Wow.
Shuffles a card back.
Who would have thought?
We are playing the one copy of BLS. It has a really strong effect where if you use a level 7 or higher monster for its link material, you basically just make this card untargetable and it can't be destroyed by card effects.
And then if it ever destroys anything, you get to either non-targeting banish, gain 1500 attack forever, or make a second attack during your next battle phase. He's a great card. He's probably the most solid Link 3 to like ever exist.
Yeah. And then for our Link 4s, we're choosing to play these two. They can realistically be anything but Appaloosa and Access Code. This card is just your OTK machine, and then Appaloosa is just negates. Super duper easy. You can get to these cards very generically because they are both just 2 effect monsters. And for instant fusion targets, we are playing the 1000 Irish Restrict and then the 1 Kaminari Attack. This card is loaded just to get you into your Thunder Dragon Titan.
Kaminari Attack, more like common Ari Attack, because he's always printed as a common and couldn't at least be a super for the love of God. I mean, imagine this as a super and tell me it wouldn't look better.
And then 1000 Eyes Restrict just allows you to eat a monster going second. Really good, really useful.
And then this wouldn't be a Thunder Dragon deck if we weren't playing one Thunder Dragon Colossus, am I right? Right guys? We're playing one, right? It's a one, right? It's a one, right? Kidding. He's banned, Jesus.
Do you know what's not banned? Double copies of Thunder Dragon Titan. A lot of people play this card at 3. You don't really need Titan at 3. It's a gigantic boss monster. You never really need more than 3.
3 seems like overkill. I don't know why, but like, it just seems like a lot. Tell us comments what you think, but I think 2 is fine. And this extra deck is tight.
And then the last 2 cards in our extra deck, we are playing the 1 Abyss Dweller and then the 1 Dingirsu. Sends cards, doesn't allow your opponent to play with the graveyard. You basically win the game when you get either of these out. The side deck is always on Patreon. Links are in the description box down below. But let's get into the combo section. Alright, so we are going to shuffle real quick and then allow our opponent to cut for us.
Please, we need a lure. A lure.
Ooh, a lure.
Oh, Puppy's good too.
Dark is really good.
Okay.
Valk is awesome.
Yay! I did it!
Oh my
Logan's
God.
so good in existence! See, that's all you gotta do. You just gotta kind of will the deck. I don't know. This was my deck, so it has a lot of synergy with me. It hates Brian. Let's allure!
So, we are going to activate the allure. See another Dark and another Valk.
That's always how it goes.
That
too.
is so
You always see 2 cards you already have.
And so we're just going to banish the Dark, activate Dark's effect to search a Thunder Dragon Fusion from our deck to our hand. And now we can go Chaos Space. We're going to activate it and we are going to send our Valk. Because we sent a light, we're going to search our Black Dragon, which is really strong in this deck right now.
Yeah, it feels really good.
And then of course we can special summon the Black Dragon by banishing the Valk. And then because Valk was banished, we can activate its effect to send a card.
Now when you send the card, its effects will be negated and you cannot activate cards with that same name for the turn, so just be mindful of that.
We're going to send our Chaos Creator. Now what we can do is we can activate this in hand by banishing the Dark in our graveyard to special summon the Valk, and now we can activate the Chaos Space in our graveyard to send him back to the bottom of the deck and then draw a card. Ooh, that's pretty scary.
Wow!
Alright, so we can do our typical end board here, which is, we're going to link for 2.
Where's my girl?
Into an IP Masquerena.
There she is.
Okay, so now that we link summoned and the black has left the field, we can search our white dragon. So this is kind of like a fun little resource game that the deck plays. You have 3 cards in your banish, which is kind of like your second hand. You also have 3 other cards in your graveyard with 5 cards in hand still and an IP on the field. So now what we can do is we can just normal summon our aloof lupine and then activate the effect. We are gonna banish our Dark for cost. It stinks because we already got its effect off, but that's totally fine.
Because we can banish our sweet boy Roar.
And then Roar will trigger, and we can special summon a Thunder Dragon Matrix to our side of the field.
I'm just gonna scooch the green.
Okay. And there's that. So now, of course, we can just link this away into our Link Karibo, and then that will activate, searching a Thunder Dragon Matrix directly from our deck to our hand. Of course, we can special summon our white by banishing our black. Realistically, in hindsight, we probably should have saved the Chaos Space for this, but that's totally fine. It's not a huge deal. And then now we can just overlay these two into an Abyss Dweller, and then we can activate our Thunder Dragon Fusion, sending back a Matrix, a Dark, and a Roar into our deck to special summon our Titan directly from our extra deck. So this is our end board. We still have 2 cards in hand. We have the Thunder Dragon Matrix that we searched to proc the Titan to pop any card on the field. We do have the Link Karibo Battle Protection if we need it. IP can link away, and we do have the Abyss Dweller denying our opponent graveyard access. So how I think I would play this turn out, and just so you guys can see how synergistic this deck is. So on our opponent's turn, we are going to, in their standby phase, detach for Abyss Dweller, and then on their normal summon, we'll probably just IP it away with the Abyss Dweller into a Nightmare Unicorn. Unicorn can activate. We'll discard the 1 card in our hand that we don't need. And then, of course, we have the proc still for Titan to pop an additional card. We had 3 interruptions on our opponent's turn. And then even though we don't have any cards in hand, we are going to draw for our turn. We get a hand trap. And then, of course, we can just banish the Thunder Dragon Fusion, search the Chaos Creator that we put back, and then we can just banish the Thunder Dragon Matrix and our Aloof Lupine to special summon our Chaos Creator. And then we can activate the Chaos Creator's effect. We target 1, 2, and 3. This is the biggest one, so we're just gonna special summon this and then put these 2 on the bottom of our deck. And then, of course, we'll link for 4 to an access code talker. And then access code will target the unicorn, make it 5,300. We will put our Titan into attack position, and then, of course, we'll just tribute our Dark Colossus.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
We can activate the access code. We're just going to banish the unicorn to pop any card that remains on the field, and that is game, my friends.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. I mean, of course, Thunder clearly isn't the same. The engine isn't the same. Nothing is pretty much the same at this point. It's barely even Titan Turbo. It's more of just like a double hybrid deck kind of thing. But I'd say it ends pretty darn well for what it is right now. It takes about a turn to kind of snowball now, rather than like setting up 3 Colossus and just like OTKing like nobody's business. So it's different, but it's still pretty decent. And it doesn't use needle fiber. Isn't that fun?
But that being said, guys, we really hope you enjoyed this. We hope that you like our new take on Thunder Dragons. Still in the testing stages, still in the theory stages, but let us know what you guys think, and let us know what you would change in the deck, if anything at all.
Yeah, and again, this is all theory, so if you want to talk theory, hit us up in the comments. We read all of them. We love seeing what you guys have to say. I think this is a pretty darn good build. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it and want to hang out with the Dream Team. Let us know what deck profiles you'd like to see in the future. And who knows, we'll probably have an updated version of this sometime once we learn it a little better. But thank you guys so much for watching. We love you. You matter. You're perfect. My little angel. Yeah, I'm talking to you. All right, Top. Say bye to your friends, bud. Bye, guys. Have a great day.